Hello everybody, I'm RuudDevil and welcome to my first Warhammer 3 replay. This is a match between Tsarina Katerin of Kislev and the Heralds of Nergal. We're on the Silver Spire. This is a Domination game. And it's actually a statue of the lady there holding the grail there, which they obviously drink out of. But no Bretonia, we'll just have to settle for Nergal and Kislev. So, being Domination, we have smaller starting armies. Very much mobility-centric, because that's the way it goes with Domination. You just want to rush those points and rush the territories. And for Nergal here, he's gone with a Herald of Nergal, who is actually flying on his little rotfly. And let's see what we got here. He's got his Locust for the healing. Duration 11 seconds. I actually thought it was longer, but there we go. We have the Breath with the really high AP, which is insane. Also low cost Winds of Magic for that. And then Fleshy Abundance. It doesn't get more Nergal than that. 1.6% heal for 20 seconds. That's what we're talking about, and that's the big Winds of Magic drain for Nergal here. We've got reinforcements of Chaos Furies, I guess for mobility, maybe harassing some siege if he thought his enemy was going siege. We've got Plague Toads as well. I don't know, man. I feel like they look mean, but I don't know. We'll see how they work out. Everything with Nergal has physical resist, so might work out well with Kislev, who knows. And then we've got, for that little beefy front line, we have the Forsaken of Nergal. And facing them today... Oh, well, he's going Horse Archers. Well, hopefully it doesn't work out too badly for him, but he's got Horse Archers for that little bit of mobility. Not sure they're going to do much. They have pretty good range, but they're pretty much like a rapid harass unit. They don't have much missile strength, but they can fire while moving, and as I said, they have pretty decent range. And, I mean, I'm really pulling for Kislev. I should stay impartial, but he is rocking one of my favorite units, which is the Light War Sleds. Look at them, just surfing on a shard of ice. It is so beautiful. These things have collision attacks, firewall moving, armor piercing, excellent range, armor piercing rounds, really good damage, and if you get in too close, well, there's two angry bears, Bird and Filbert, to just rip you to shreds. I'm really pulling for these. And backing them up, we have a contingent of Warbear Riders, which we've got no Boris Ursus with us, but these Warbears will still pack a punch. And nice anti-large, just waiting on Cathay to get their own anti-large, maybe one day. And supporting them, of course, is the Ice Queen herself, Lady Tsarina Katerin, on her Warbear. Let's see what she's got going. She's got Stand Your Ground, yeah, that's basic. Ice Shard, which does a lot of damage, but it is a magic missile, so a bit hit and miss. You kind of have to be in the right place at the right time. But it could be some pretty good damage there just to snipe down single entities. We got Frost Fang, which is an explosion. Pretty, like, basically the opposite, because it's really easy to hit with that. And decent AP value there. We've got Death Frost, which just guaranteed damage, but a lot of Winds of Magic. And one of my favorite spells, the Heart of Winter, which drains so much of your Winds of Magic, but the longer the enemy is inside, which is great against Nergal, because they're so slow, you'll do more damage and slow them. So if you look at that final 8 seconds, 100 to 200 damage per second. If you can get good value out of that, I mean... Jury's out on whether it's worth the Winds of Magic, but that's still potentially a lot of damage. And then we have Crystal Sanctuary. I guess if your Lord gets stuck, you could go with that. And yeah, it causes fear. I feel like everything causes fear in this game, unless you're an absolute pansy. Unless you're a chaff unit, I feel like everything causes fear. All right, so we've run down the units. Reinforcements will be coming in soon. Capture points don't unlock for another 2 minutes. The Furies, with their high speed, are getting harassed here. I'm not sure how many of these projectiles are getting through. I feel like trees are even more annoying. I think CA might have forgotten about that update where you sort of had that grace period. A number of times I fired from within trees and it doesn't, like, the arrows just bounce off. But they seem to be going through sort of here. And War Sleds are going right up the middle. The main point, Kislev has made their presence known. Nergal's just sort of waiting here, but this is what I'm talking about. The Ice Sleds here. Look at that firewall moving, baby doll. Good luck stopping them. Is he going to go for the home point? I feel like in Domination, there's no way you go for the home point unless you're really inexperienced. Namely because the reinforcements come out right next to it. Right there. So, yeah, it's really hard to do that. Anyway, Plague Toads are responding, but remember, just firewall moving, plenty of ammo. Warbears are going in. Once the Furies land, they'll be fair game. Zarina on the front line. I mean, she can handle herself a little bit, but she is a wizard and she is your lord. You need to sort of be careful there. But this middle point is huge. So a lot of areas to contest. And we'll see if the Rotflies want to swoop in and do some damage. I love the way these Furies look when they're sort of flying around, because it literally looks like a plague of locusts just flying by. They're taking some damage, but not as much as I thought. Anyway, the Rotflies have landed. Warbears are anti-large. They should actually be doing a number against these. It says combat even. Once the Forsaken get in and then they surround them, they should actually get some nice damage in here. They have been affected by poison. That might be what's evening it out. The War Sleds need to get back in them. And Zarina needs to be careful that she doesn't get caught out here. And the sound of those Rotflies, the constant buzzing, is so freaking off-putting. You're not losing. I think it's Nergal's poison. Plus that physical resist just making the difference here. And there is the Heart of Winter. I would laugh if it was an actual heart, but it's like a snowflake shape. So now it's in the early stages here. The Forsaken should be slowly dying. Both lords are pretty high health. The Rotflies are wavering. And the Forsaken of Nergal are also wavering. I think he's just drained. Oh my god. I think it's the Heart of Winter that just sort of drained all of that. Excellent there. The Sleds are coming back in just to trample the Forsaken. I thought he would. He's got his Missile Cav, who, after doing the initial harass, have gone back to capture their main point. Still 0-0 and no points. We're getting a summon, boys. We're getting a summon. Oh, the Cultist of Nergal as the reinforcements are coming in. Cultist of Nergal gets that physical resist, and is obviously a hero for Nergal. And we've got the Beasts of Nergal as well. Well, I hope Kislev hasn't forgotten about their reinforcements. What's he bringing in? He's bringing in Kossars and Ice Guard. So the elite units are coming out. Oh, Ice Guard Glaives are already here. And I feel like if they're Ice Guard Glaives, they should actually stand a pretty good chance against these Beasts of Nergal. Assuming they don't get healed. The Herald of Nergal is actually dying here. Vigor is wavering. Oh, sorry, Leadership is wavering. And I think it's just the constant mass of these Warbears and War Sleds that are sort of getting in the way. But the Herald of Nergal does actually make a pretty clean escape. And these Plague Bearers are just a summon. They're just sort of there to buy time so the Lord can get out. Plague Toads are flanking around. He really wants to trap in these Warbears. But thankfully, these Ice Guard are just covering. And I feel like they were just one of my favorite units because they're so beautiful and they do the job well. Jurors are coming in, but we'll just switch to our Glaives here. And they all switch to their Glaives. That one a little slower than the others. And these things should actually just get wrecked completely. So, Nergal should be just healing every time. But remember that every Kislev unit basically applies Frostbite, which makes a slower faction even slower in Nergal's case. So 1 point each. Although Nergal was actually able to capture the middle. I guess the extra presence of all those Forsaken and now the Giant Beast. Katarine retreating from the Great Beast with half health. And the Locust is coming in. That's one use used up just for that extra heal. Basically healing up everything here. But the epic missile damage on these Ice Glaives. With their 27 and 160 range. Armor piercing as well. And I'm not sure why the Rodfly is still in there. He should probably retreat, but he is being targeted. Minus 30. His speed is 63. For a flying mount, that's really slow. And Beasts of Nergal, what is their debuff again? Oh, that's right. Slime Trail is just a little debuff to their missile, their melee attack. And there he goes. He's wavering. He's been hit with Death Frost. I don't think you needed to do that. I'm pretty sure there's enough ammo left on those units to finish the job. One War Sled is wavering, though. There are still 3 War Sleds left. But they are all low on health, and they've just been hit with Curse of the Slug, because that's the name of an ability, apparently. So Nergal now has 2 points. All these epic units came in very quickly. And you can see, look at the health bar melt on these single entities. Ice Guard just don't give a yuck about anything. He's going to get a decent charge there. That guy got fucked, but the rest of the battalion still lives. And as soon as they switch to their Glaives, they should actually just make mincemeat of him. I feel like if the leadership didn't waver there, that Beast of Nergal could have done a bit more, because they are quite a tanky unit, like everything else in Nergal's arsenal. But yeah, he's just basically crumbling now. Katarina is still alive, but beset by Nerglings. Oh, and there is a beast in there too. I feel like Katarina should probably get out of there. I'm not sure why he's thinking... I know you procced Stand Your Ground, but I don't think you can handle a beast of Nergal. Let the Zargard fight for the motherland. Oh, but maybe they were buying time for the warbeds, because here they come. And if that second beast of Nergal go down, that could be a real big victory. Yes, Nergal has 2 points. But remember, reinforcements are not limited. You do have a finite amount of resources. And it's all just rather clumpy here. This beast of Nergal, despite crumbling, is still fighting. And Griffin Legion, just to get that extra flanking damage and that extra leadership penalty. And yep, look at those Chaos Furies. They're already chaff, but now they're crumbling as well. So excellent there. And more reinforcements are arriving. Let's just have a look at the battlefield. Forsaken of Nergal. They'll take their time getting to the battle. More Plague Bearers. And I feel like that little Hail Mary up the middle. Those Beasts of Nergal. Maybe he wasn't expecting Ice Guard to come out so soon. But they're basically a unit that's good at everything, I feel. Like, what do Ice Guard lose to? Outside of fucking Chaos Warriors or Khorne. They're just so good at dealing with everything. Anyway, the Griffin Legion with their lances. They're not anti-large, I don't think. I could be crazy, but I'm pretty sure they're not. No, they're anti-infantry. They carry lances, but I thought, you know... I'm pretty sure they're anti-infantry. So even though Nergal's Lord is dead, these guys are just so durable. You gotta give them something to make up for their speed. Or lack thereof speed. Or lack of speed. But once this goes down, even with the Plague Toads, I feel like he has it under control. These Warbears are losing. Because again, the poison is kicking in. But Griffin Legion could get a decent charge on the Forsaken and then maybe come around for a flank. But there is a whole boatload, literal boatload, of Kislev units just waiting to push. And I feel like, his horse archers that are out of ammo but still in the fight are there just to distract away from the main battle. So Forsaken are now having to divert troops away. And I want to make a big deal about that thing crumbling, but the last thing took ages to die once it was crumbling. I don't think there's any Winds of Magic left for these two. They used up like 2 or 3 big spells. And that Heart of Winter was a real well played. And there it goes down! Tsarina Katarina of Kislev. Moving for no man, if you could even call that thing a man. And I'm not sure why it keeps going slow-mo. I think every time reinforcements arrives, it goes slow-mo just to let me know. And it's like, okay, I kind of gather that. But yeah, I think she's pretty safe here. These Warbears, there's still 13 of them, although they are just constantly debuffed. More Nurglings, just maybe a bit more harassed just to keep the enemy busy so they can't cap the point. Maybe that's the Nergal strat here. And let's just see how these Griffin Legion just handle. They are anti-infantry. But they're mainly they are shock cavalry, so their main strength is their charge bonus and their devastating flanker, which, I'm pretty sure they have. They don't even have devastating flanker. What the hell is the point of a Griffin Legion? Why would you never just pick Warbears? I mean, they look so badass, but, oh, unfortunately. Anyway, these War Sleds are still going in. Credit to Kislev for keeping the Warbears alive. Because they are just so tanky. Even by Nergal standards, the Warbears will give them a run for their money. Anyway, Forsaken. These guys are pretty tanky as well. But he seems to be running back to the main point. I guess he's just assuming that Kislev are going to make another run for it. So just sort of stand your ground there. Because if he wanted to sort of offset the charge of this, I think it would have been better to brace. But he just decided to embrace it regardless. And the Griffin Legion got pretty good charge in there. And the Horse Archers feeling that they can do something too, even though they did nothing. Alright, Plague Toads. More reinforcements. I'm surprised how many Nergal's calling in. Although we've got Armored Corsairs now. So he called in his stronger units immediately from the first wave of reinforcements. And now the Corsairs are coming in, which obviously aren't as good as Ice Guard. But they still do their part. They're pretty good hybrid unit, so plenty versatile. And I think Kislev has taken the middle point now, so it's 2 points to 1. And this is where mathematics comes into it. Because Nergal seemed like they were losing the ground fight pretty decisively. But because they were able to hold that middle point, they were able to amass a pretty substantial lead. So it's all about whether... I mean, it's 12... I think if it's double, then he can't catch up. But obviously, he doesn't have double the points. So, Kislev, should they continue to hold these 2 points, they should actually win. But it will be very close. And let's see how these Plague Toads fare. You just gotta love the constant poison. Once they get in close, they have the advantage. And these Warbears are actually routing. These Horse Archers, did they even have a kill? They've got 19. You know what? That's more than I thought. 47 sweet kills for these Warbear Riders. They've certainly proved their mettle. And look at the amount of health on these Pox Riders. 7,500 health with 20% physical resist. Plus the poison debuff. You can see why it takes a fucking millennium to get rid of these fucking guys. Can you even tell what's going on? I think he's gonna have to do more rear trampling if he wants to actually get a pretty decisive win here. Unless Catherine has some more spells up her sleeve. Whatever happened to those those cultists of Nergal? I don't actually see where they went. Anyway, we've got Forsaken making a last-ditch effort, but the Corsairs are there. And they should actually be able to kill them before they get there. Their range is only 90, but that is enough to get a few volleys off. Particularly when they're beset by Frostbite, which you just fucking... You gotta love Frostbite against Nergal. 4,300 points for Nergal. 700 to go for a win. And that epic volley as well. Did they take any damage there? There's still 30. Reload your pistols, man. Reload. 29. He's doing the healing. You know what? He got 5 bodies, but they're crumbling. Or they're wavering. They switch to their axes. The Forsaken are going to get their attack. Oh. You know what? I know they said how hard it is to have, like, a lot of custom animations for all these different units and all these different unit sizes and everything. But there are still pretty epic moments. I disagree with anyone that says there aren't. Particularly with that little charge there. That was pretty awesome. But anyway, just the leadership is crumbling every time they get into combat. But here we go, the numbers. They should actually flank round. Not enough Ice Guard. Nergal's actually... Look how close the points are on her. It's only 400 difference. And 2 groups of Nergalings are coming in. There was another beast as well. Katarin's still alive. I think he's going to try and cap the 3rd point, but Nergal doesn't care because he's going for the middle point. Fresh War Sleds coming in! And were they set to melee? Because that charged for... I know they're light War Sleds, but the... What's that charge bonus? 38? Well, I guess it is pretty shit, but they're Nerglings! They should be able to win that. And, yeah. If you say this game doesn't have good animations, then I advise you to just look at these Nerglings. No doubt they have way more fun than you do. And I think it's going into slow-mo for when a spell is being cast, because I have that set. And all the victory is within 200 points. It all depends on whether Nergal can get this main point. But it seems that even with the Nergaling reinforcements, Armored Corsairs manages to get in there and just hold the ground. The Forsaken are dead. It's literally just Nergalings now. 4,900 to 4,800. This is the closest game ever. There's that Cultist of Nergal. Katarine and her residue of Warbears are just slowly creeping forward. Oh my god! 20 points between them! 90, 95. Oh my!
There is only defeat.
Only defeat! You need a new eye. You need a new Raven of Tzeentch to tell you, because that says draw. Oh my god. Nergal basically held that middle point for such a long time. Look, even he can't believe it. Look at that face. That is the face of a guy who can't quite fucking believe it. But yeah, Nergal managed to hold that middle point. He took a lot of casualties, but he stood tall. And he managed to salvage a draw out of that. The battlefield was lost, but he managed to get the draw. I think Kislev needed to flank around more troops and try and cap this point again. But that's really easier said than done, particularly in Domination. It's hard to get that initial point. Anyway, I hope you guys all enjoyed. If you want more casts, then feel free to like and share. Also, give me some feedback, since I have never done a Warhammer 3 cast before. Let me know what you thought and how it can be improved. See you guys all next time. Peace out. Goodbye.